Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and this is season 3 of our daily answer writing initiative. ये जो इनिशिएटिव है ये हमारी वेबसाइट के साथ कोऑर्डिनेटेड है. दिस इनिशिएटिव वर्क्स इन कोऑर्डिनेशन विद आवर वेबसाइट हियर एट rajisacademy.com. You can click on the mains answer writing section and here you'll see a list of questions. बहुत सारे questions uploaded हैं वेबसाइट पर. आपका जो भी टॉपिक कंप्लीट हो गया है, वॉट एवर टॉपिक यू फील कंफर्टेबल इन, आप उससे रिलेटेड आंसर वेबसाइट पर पोस्ट कर सकते हैं एंड आवर टीम इज़ कॉन्स्टेंटली इवैल्यूएटिंग योर आंसर्स विच आर पोस्टेड हियर इन द कॉमेंट सेक्शंस बिलो. So starting with today's discussion, आज का question for day 32 is based on yesterday's जो current affairs subject wise discussion हमारा कल हुआ था with regards to society and security. So security का एक बहुत ही important जो issue है with regards to Indian security and Indian democracy, it is about the Naga crisis in the northeast. So we have taken a question with regards to it. Naga crisis के बारे में, Naga insurgency के बारे में आपको सारी चीज़ें पता होनी चाहिए. Why is it happening? What are the communities involved? Is there any tribal group involved? आपको mapping clear होनी चाहिए that which are the states affected, because coming from there only is the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Where is it applicable? Why was it put in place? AFSPA क्यों लगाया गया था? And how AFSPA is currently functioning. So everything needs to be clear. You need to be sure about when did the split in these groups conducting insurgency or demanding a separate country that happened. So briefly we'll discuss step by step. That's why ये question लिया गया है ताकि क्लैरिटी आ जाए पूरे टॉपिक से रिलेटेड. सो द क्वेश्चन इज एक्सप्लेन द नागा क्राइसिस इन ब्रीफ. व्हाट इनिशिएटिव्स हैव बीन टेकन बाय द गवर्नमेंट टू रिजॉल्व द डिस्प्यूट. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक्सप्लेन द नागा क्राइसिस इन ब्रीफ. व्हाट वील डू इज हम अपनी इंट्रोडक्टरी जो पैराग्राफ है उसी में हम नागा क्राइसिस इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे. वील टॉक अबाउट द नागा एथनिक कम्युनिटी इन ब्रीफ एंड उसके बाद जो क्राइसिस जिसको हम लोग टर्म करते हैं नागा क्राइसिस और नागा इंसर्जेंसी, उसका हम टाइमलाइन स्टडी करेंगे. वील स्टडी द इंसर्जेंसी अकॉर्डिंग टू अ टाइमलाइन सो दैट वी डोंट क्रॉस द word limit also. But before that, before writing the introductory paragraph, there are two diagrams. One of them is a map, the other one is for the timeline. That needs to be clear. These two need to be clear. So this is a map from Google Images. This is the map for Greater Naga limb, or the area that Naga outfits want for themselves. So this particular area, this is the Greater Naga limb, and it does not just have parts of Nagaland. सिर्फ Nagaland को separate territory नहीं डिमांड किया गया है. There are many regions in North East. बहुत सारी states हैं, कुछ आसाम का पार्ट है, कुछ मणिपुर का पार्ट है, नागालैंड का पार्ट तो है ही है. So many of the states उनकी जो territory है वो डिमांड में है. So that is what we call the Greater Naga limb. And इधर जो है, this is the timeline for the entire issue starting from 1826 when Britishers went into Assam, जब Britishers ने आसाम को annex किया था, and then in 1918 when the Naga club was formed and they demanded autonomy. They told the British government कि हमारी जो community है वो यहाँ बाकी North Easterns की तरह नहीं है. We have a unique culture, we have a unique kinds of traditions, so keep us out of the government that you are trying to establish here. So everything will be studied. अगर आप जो timeline है of this crisis, if you can put it in this format in your answer, एक arrow के format में दिखा सकते हैं, then this will fetch you more marks. And this map is very important whenever a question regarding to the Greater Naga limb or Naga crisis is asked from you. Now in the introductory statement, first of all just define who are the Nagas. हम किनको बोलते हैं? So they are the hill people belonging to the Indo-Mongoloid family. And they are not just a single tribe, but they are an ethnic community जिनके similar traditions और culture है. उनकी community है who live in Nagaland and its neighborhood. So Nagaland के अलावा भी बहुत areas में रहते हैं, Nagaland के neighborhood में रहते हैं. So the insurgency in Nagaland in northeastern India is an ongoing conflict between this particular ethnic community and governments of India, whether it is your state government of northeast, अलग अलग स्टेट्स की गवर्नमेंट है या गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इटसेल्फ है. सो बिटवीन गवर्नमेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया, वेरियस गवर्नमेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया एंड द एथनिक कम्युनिटी कॉल्ड नागास. सो द नेक्स्ट वन इज दैट what they desire is they desire sovereignty, they desire greater Nagalim or Naga territory, the greater Nagalim, a consolidated state कि उसको एक proper उनका sovereign right हो उस जगह के ऊपर, which the areas, the states of Nagaland, Manipur, Assam and Arunachal Pradesh का एक part हो जो greater Nagalim हो, where Naga ethnic community is in domination. So this is what is their demand. The question that is here is, or the the point of conflict between government of India and this ethnic community is about autonomy and their own flag and constitution. So these are, this is something that the government of India or the government of states, they do not want, but the community wants. We cannot have a separate constitution inside India for a different ethnic community. Till date it has not happened, and similarly for the flag also. So these are the points of contention. Now talking about the timeline, या तो आप जो फर्स्ट स्लाइड में आपको टाइमलाइन के लिए एरो फिगर या डायग्राम दिखाया गया है आप वो यूज़ कर सकते हैं, और what you can do is just briefly with me study the timeline, and this will not take a lot of words. You will short not miss on the word limit. So this will not take a lot of words. What you can start with is that in 1881 the Naga Hills became a part of British India. Assam basically, Assam was a very big region that time, so Naga Hills were part of it, so they became a part of British India. 1918 में Naga Club was set up, and उसके बाद the unity of Naga tribes that was increased with the help of Naga Club. They brought all the Naga tribes together, and this Naga Club demanded autonomy from British India. They rejected the report of Simon Commission and its recommendations, and they again and again reiterated to the British government that keep us out of the general system of governance that you are following in this country. We are very different from the rest of the country. So point issues कब हुए when the Britishers had to leave India. So after that, with regards to independence के around 1946 के बाद या 1946 के around issues होने लगे, because the government wanted one country, one nation, one constitution, things like that. But this ethnic community, they wanted a separate recognition. This recognition was given in the separate state of Nagaland also. That was one of the initiatives that government of India took. But in 1946 what happened? The Naga Club, it renamed itself or rechanged itself into Naga National Council or NNC. In 1947, under the leadership of Angami Zapu Fizo, the NNC declared Nagaland as an independent state. When did they declare? One day before independence, that is August 14, 1947, and they conducted a referendum in the state in 1951 to claim a support for a sovereign Nagaland. That see, these people, they want their own leaders, they don't want government of India to lead them. So support for a sovereign Nagaland was announced by the help of referendum, and in June 1947 the Assam governor, he signed a 9-point agreement with the moderates in, like there were some moderates also in this Naga National Council who wanted to reorganize with India or be with India. So the moderates of NNC and the governor of Assam, they signed a 9-point agreement, but this was entirely neglected by other people in NNC, Naga National Council, and so the leader here was Fizo, Angami Zapu Fizo. So he entirely rejected it, that this is an agreement we can't adhere to. So what happened in March 1952, like after a few years, Fizo formed the underground Naga federal government and also a Naga federal army. So this army, it has been causing insurgencies, and the government also, an underground government was formed for governing the Naga ethnic community. So from here things changed, and Indian government had to send army to control the conflicts. ये सब situation control करने के लिए Indian government को armed forces भेजनी पड़ी, और AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, was put into place due to this insurgency. Now insurgency part is a little bit clear, I hope. the rest of the timeline will be studied in terms of initiatives, because if you see, the second part of our question is what initiatives have been taken by the government to resolve the dispute. So after this, putting AFSPA in place, we'll be discussing initiatives, and iske saath hi how the Naga crisis has changed with time, that will also be discussed. So the first point is that the formation of Nagaland took place in December 1963. It was the first state to be formed, and a peace mission was formed for an agreement on suspension of operations with the NNC, but it was abandoned in 1967. So creation of Nagaland and this peace mission. So we are starting right after independence. We are starting right from the first initiative. Then the very important one, second wala jo hai, the very important one is the Shillong Accord of 1975. Shillong Accord ke according jo bhi insurgency ho rahi thi, for example the army that was formed here, the Naga Federal Army and the Naga Federal Government or Naga National Council. So Shillong Accord is very important because after this, several leaders of NNC, Naga National Council, they decided that we will not agree to Shillong Accords. A part in the NNC, they agreed to give up on arms, to join hands with the government of India, but others did not. So what happened after Shillong Accord? Split of NNC happened. Naga National Council दो parts में split हो गया, and one of the important part here was NSCN-IM. It stands for Isaac Muivah. So he was the leader of this NSCN-IM. So after this split, इस split के बाद जो भी government ने conversations की हैं, वो जो भी talks हुई हैं, वो इस group के साथ हुई हैं mostly. Then in 1997 again there was a ceasefire agreement that was set up to stop attacks on Indian armed forces. The most important one here after the Shillong Accord would be the 2015 Framework Agreement. इसकी details बहुत देर तक delay की गई. In this agreement, Government of India recognized that yes, this particular community, the Naga ethnic community, इनका culture और traditions बहुत different है, and the government recognized their unique history, culture and position of the Nagas and their sentiments and aspirations. And to reciprocate, the NSCN-IM also appreciated the Indian political system and governance. So after this agreement was signed, it was very much it was very much seen कि अब जो insurgency है वो reduce हो जाएगी. Then in 2017 again we had an agreement for the political settlement, and another initiative that you can talk about is कि AFSPA पहले बहुत सारे areas में active था. Now AFSPA has been revoked from areas जहाँ पे insurgency नहीं है. So things have been made easier. People here, they are being given government jobs even when even with very little qualifications. उनका जो economic जो strength है वो government बढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रही है. Government jobs are very easily provided to them so that they can start an independent life. वो एक अच्छी prosperous life को आगे बढ़ा सके. So that is how the government is tackling, and it is also trying to establish some startups there. कुछ industries, BPOs वगैरह setup करने की कोशिश की जा रही है ताकि employment rate बढ़ सके and people can lead a peaceful and happy life. So these were the initiatives, and with these initiatives I think the timeline also will be covered. So in the conclusion what you can write is, we have covered most of the things. Just give a very good a very intellectual kind of conclusion. Say that India is a diverse country and we have a place for all kinds of diversities in India. There is a place in India for all kinds of diversities, and the road to peace during all these insurgency, it lies in the diplomatic solutions first. It does not lie in responding to insurgency with arms or a war kind of a situation, and the government has fully agreed to it. Diplomatic solutions को ही बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है. So you have to reiterate that point, what government is doing, that diplomatic solutions are the key to move ahead. Continuous conversations, regular ceasefire agreements, securing their cultural and political rights, improving their economic standards, that will help in the long run. They are a way to understand the nitty-gritties of the problem and hence resolve it in future years. So this is your full answer. After watching this video, you can read the entire answer on our website, that is rajisacademy.com. Also, if you're somebody who has not written the answer till date to this question, post your answer on the website and we'll be responding back to you with our valuable feedback entirely free of cost. Stay tuned. The link to the website is there in the description below. Subscribe to the channel. Keep working hard.